Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining me on another little live video where I'm going to give you some help on what you think might be tight hamstrings, but perhaps could be something else. So hopefully you've joined me not hopefully you have tight hamstrings, but hopefully if that's something that might be an issue for you if you're watching this now. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Before I get on to that, just a quick reminder, if you do watch this, please do give me a little thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Give me a little heart to let me know you're enjoying it. And if you've got any questions, do pop them in the comments. I don't always see them when I'm on live, so do tag me. And if you're watching this on catch up as well, please do tag me and I will come back to any questions you might have. And of course, I am opening my Strong Motion program this week. So if you're interested in joining me on that, then send me a private message or you can comment on the thread as well. I'll talk a bit more about that at the end of this. But let's get started talking about the hamstrings. Well, actually, we're not really going to talk about the hamstrings too much at all, to be honest with you. What we're actually going to talk about today is the sciatic nerve. Now, the sciatic nerve runs all the way down the back of the leg and down into the feet. And actually, the nervous system, as you've ever seen a picture of the human body and the nervous system, you can see it's like a whole web of nerves basically coming obviously out of the brain, because the brain controls everything. And it's a whole web that comes from the brain all the way down and out of the body. So it's all interconnected. And nerves like to glide and they don't like to stretch. So they like to move easily. As we move around, they like to be able to kind of move easily within the body rather than getting stuck, for example. Now, if something is causing the nerves to be stuck, and I'm going to use the word tethered here, I don't want this to get confused with a trapped nerve or a pinched nerve. This is definitely not what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking about something that you wouldn't necessarily feel. So the nerve might be tethered, so it might be something like the fascia, which through lack of movement or some kind of compensation, perhaps the fascia's grown and perhaps the nerve isn't gliding as well as it should do. What happens then is the body can restrict movement in that area so that it doesn't cause the nerve to stretch and cause problems. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So when you could be experiencing tight hamstrings, for example, it could actually be a tethered sciatic nerve and your body is sending signals to the hamstrings not to move any further in order to keep the sciatic nerve safe. So we have a very simple test to find out if that's potentially the case. And the test is also kind of the exercise to help release this as well. So it's very simple and it is safe. However, I will say to you, if you have any sciatica, please don't do this. So if you have sciatica, this is not a treatment for sciatica. Okay, I'm going to say that again. This is not a treatment for sciatica. If you have sciatica, please don't do this. Please talk to your physio or see someone in person about that. However, if you don't have sciatica, but you might think that you've got tight hamstrings, then you can safely give this a go. What we're going to do is we're going to slump forwards. And what I'm doing here, slumping forwards, this is like, imagine bad posture, yeah? So everything that we think that we shouldn't do. You just really want to round in the spine. And what we're doing here is we're just putting a little bit of a stretch into the nervous system. And you can allow the head to release. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend one leg from the knee very gently. And you're going to stop if you feel any tension, tingling or tightness. So if you get to this point and you feel some tension, some tingling or tightness, then you're going to stop and release. And then we can try with the other leg if you're following along with me. So again, rounding forward, bit of a slump. You can rest the hands on the other knee, on the other thigh. And again, maybe you can get this leg a little bit further before you feel something. Or maybe it doesn't even go as far. Perhaps you don't feel anything, and that's totally fine. Perhaps you feel something, but it's not in your hamstring. Perhaps you feel something in your toe or your calf or in your back or anywhere. If you feel anything anywhere, then that's potentially an indicator that there might be a little bit of tethering, okay? If you don't feel anything, there's a couple more versions to try. You can come back to that same position and extend the leg. If you manage to get the leg all the way extended and you don't feel anything, then great. You can then try pointing and flexing the foot just to see if that changes something. And if it does, then again you can try this exercise to release a potentially tethered nerve. And if not, then probably you haven't got a tethered sciatic nerve. So the exercise is basically the same as the test. In fact, this test is developed from the exercise itself. If I was to do this with you face to face, we actually have a completely different test for it. But obviously we're doing this online and you're doing it to yourself. So this is the easiest way to do it. Literally, the exercise is to do the exactly same thing. So you're going to slump forwards and you're going to gently extend that leg, and you're going to stop at the point where you feel that tension, tingling or tightness. And you're going to repeat this about 8 to 10 times, each time stopping just at that point where you feel the tension. So you don't want to go into the tension at all. You might find as you're getting to your 10 reps, you can move the leg a bit further whilst before you feel the tension, which is great, which is what we want. You're starting to release it just a little bit. So you'll do 10 on one side, 10 on the other side. And if it's not very severe, like if you can't move very far, then I would just start off with one set. But if you can get quite a way, then I would maybe try 2 sets on each side, and then try that a couple of times a day and see how things improve. Hopefully, as you move through the exercise and start doing it a couple of times a day, you'll start to feel that you can move the leg a bit further. And then it'll be interesting to try some hamstring tests like forwards fold or lying on your back with one leg in the air. See if you get any more hamstring flexibility out of it. So if you have any questions, please do pop them in the comments box. That's all I've got to say about this exercise. I would love to know if you try it. Might not give you an immediate benefit, but it might be something that you notice, and it might be something that you want to work with. If you are not too sure if this is something that you should be doing, or if you're interested in looking at some other ways in which things happening in your pelvis might be affecting the way your muscles are working, looking for different imbalances, I've got a whole load of different tests that I do on my clients, and they can all be done online. And all sorts of different little exercises and muscle energy techniques that go along with them in order to so that you can help yourself, so that you can work on these exercises to improve muscle function, improve how the muscles in your hips, legs, pelvis working, and then starting to work further up the body as well, and also down towards the feet. So this is in my Strong Motion program, which I'm opening this week. I'm looking for some new clients to join me. I've had some really amazing results with the last group who did the program. And if you've been following me this week, you might have seen some of the testimonials and some of the progress pictures. I've had some amazing results with it myself, so I highly recommend it. Do comment below if it's something you're interested in doing, or feel free to send me a private message. I'm only opening it up this week though, so don't delay. And I only had 7 spaces, 2 of them are already taken. I've had a few inquiries today. So if you're thinking about it, don't delay. As before, if you have any questions, please let me know. And if you've enjoyed this, please do share it with somebody who you think might need it. And give us a little thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, or a little heart. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you next time. Take care.